Are you really showing how happy your interracial relationship is? Or are you just doing this to prove your worth to the same few black men who still don't want you? Hey guys, Doc Jellybean here. So I know it's been a little while since my last video, so sorry about that, but I was sick. So while I was in and out of consciousness, I was also surfing through my phone as usual to pass the time, and I was getting a lot of relationship content on my feed. I mean, that's usual in social media nowadays. Everyone's trying to give advice, but as single as you know what. But I also saw a lot of interracial relationship content specifically, and I noticed that there were some trends going on, specifically with black women. And as you can see, we're going to be talking about the black wife effect that has been going on in TikTok. And if you don't know what that trend is, it's basically where there are non-black men showing how they were before and after meeting their black woman significant other, specifically a wife. And usually the before is like they're looking all sort of regular, sort of nerdy, and then afterward they're shown with very cleaned up, they got style, and they just have swag going on. So really it's basically before and after being exposed to black culture. That's really what it is. And to be honest, I'm all for sharing the positive effects that you get when crossing paths with a black woman, because I am one and I know how amazing we can be. But what I do not support is the double standard and hypocrisy that has arisen from this little trend. There are some people that have been utilizing this trend to push their own little sick agenda to slander an entire group of people. And that's exactly what this woman I'm about to show you in this video did. So as you could see, this video was not in the specific format of the black wife / woman effect. It took a different spin. It was sort of the unsaid portion of the effect, if that makes sense. So as you could see, she was like enjoying her life or whatever in the before and just partying and being happy. Then afterwards, she's, having mental breakdowns, just crying, just looking really rough, and just basically giving typical black man slander that nobody asked for. To be honest, it's not even this video that gets me, because I've seen tons of videos like hers that show how it is before and after dating a black man. I've seen so many of them, I'm tired of saying them. But what gets me is her response video when she gets called out by black men.
I am so upset that y'all blew this video up so much that I can't even respond anymore to the comments. And there are so many red pill men that I need to respond to. To the red pill black men, the holier than thou black men talking about this doesn't apply to me. Why are you bashing black men? If it doesn't apply to you, then shut the fuck up in 2024. If you're a good black man and this doesn't apply to you, then I applaud you. We as black women applaud you. I never said that all black men are bad. That never came out of my mouth. I still love black men. But if you're gonna sit here and deny that black men have trauma, need healing, are very toxic in large mass numbers, then you're part of the problem. You guys act like we as black women, we wake up and we're like, we're gonna bash black men. We're gonna make sure that they're just known to be bottom of the barrel. In order for us to have a reaction, there must have been an action on your end, but we're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about accountability. I don't get it. Again, not all black men are bad. I know a few of you guys who are genuinely amazing men. But again, that's the few. You guys are not the majority, you're the minority. So please take a seat and shut the fuck up in 2024.
So this response video really had me like,
this is a load of barnacles.
Because there are so many things wrong with what she said, and what's sad is I don't even think she realized it. Either that or she just didn't care. The first thing I want to address is that she referred to the black men that were coming at her as red pill black men. And to be honest, I haven't even heard that term until I watched this video. So those of you who do not know what those are, they're basically men who are pro-men and anti-feminist. And they are on the stance that women are really not the victims in society, and that really men are the victims and women are just causing their own problems at this point. But the way she said it, the way she referred to these men just trying to defend their entire, species, she called them red pill men in a condescending type of way. It had a negative connotation. And then she goes on to say that how she didn't say all black men and that they shouldn't be getting mad and coming at her in 2024. And I don't even know what she meant by that. I don't know if she's saying it's 2024 and you can't speak your mind now or defend yourself when people are literally talking negatively about you and your whole entire species. And as someone living in 2024, I would expect her to be wise enough to know that anyone can get triggered really quickly in social media. She shouldn't be surprised when people are coming at her, especially if she's not specifying some black men. You can't just say black men. Like, that's a generalized statement. That's like if someone were to say black women are angry. Like, you're not specifying, you're generalizing all black women. And as we all know, that is not a statement that you need to say. And then she tries to justify her careless man-bashing behavior and say that it's because black men are toxic and they have trauma and that they need healing. And she's basically saying, well, if the shoe fits. And I really hated this statement the most because it is so insensitive. And no one is denying the fact that some black men have trauma. I would have trauma too if every waking moment in my life I'm hearing, oh, all black men do is cheat, they're not loyal, they just want to have babies, and they're dangerous and they cause trouble. There's a lot that black men have to deal with in the regular world, like from the time they're born up. And it's one thing to hear all these negativities and stereotypes from non-black people, but some boys are hearing their moms say this, their sisters say this. So why wouldn't some black men be having trauma? Like, the way she's saying it is as if the trauma is their fault. And if she did come in contact with someone who happened to have trauma and was toxic, nobody asked her to stay. Like, that's another thing. Some women just be staying, that they think things are gonna change and then get salty and butthurt when their situation doesn't work out. And then they get on the media like this and start blaming the entirety of black men. Like, no, it's not all black men. You just suck at choosing men. And then later in the video, she starts doing what a lot of women do when they don't want to admit they're wrong. Play the victim. She really sat there and said, even if I am calling out black men, they deserve it because they brought it on themselves. They started it. And then the fact that she tried to emphasize that there's only a small amount of black men that are still good, that was actually crazy. That was a very bold statement. It's giving,
I'm sorry. You think you deserve an apology.
This is exactly why women like her are manless. And I don't know if she's in a relationship or not, but a lot of women that act like this and just slander black men just for funsies and just for views, they're manless, and we can see why. Because why should a good black man give you the time of day when you literally just singled out his entire species over a few bad experiences? But moving on to this next video within the Black Woman Effect. So this video, it's a woman actually responding to another video, but I'm not going to show that video because it's not really important. But really, the video she's responding to, the man said that some black women have a white man superiority complex.
But a lot of y'all black women have the white man savior complex. I just want to say that when the black wife trend came out, I wish I would have said it earlier, but I knew when I saw this trend blow up that the black men were going to start getting jealous of white men in that way. I knew that they would see these glow ups. I knew that they would see all of these things and say, that should be me. But sir, why isn't it you? Y'all don't actually want black wives. You barely want black girlfriends. You just want black baby mamas. You want black situationships. You want black talking stages with these black women. You don't want black wives. Now you see Peter, who wants the black wife and looks great and is having a very fruitful life with his black wife. Now you're getting on the internet and trying to gaslight us. Like, let's be very frank. Y'all are trying to gaslight us and say we should be picking y'all when we for centuries have always picked y'all. We are the least likely to date outside of our race. Y'all are the most likely to date outside of your race. Why are you trying to tell us that the black wife trend is like us looking at the white man as a savior? No, because like, let's go look at the NBA draft couch. Let's go look at the NFL draft couch. Let's go look at most of these black men in Hollywood. All their girlfriends, white or look like Zendaya and look like Drake. Like, let's clock it. Let's be very frank here. So don't come on the internet and try to gaslight us and say we should have been picking y'all and we need to come together. When we tried to do it, y'all didn't want us. You barely want us now. So which one is it? You want us to be your black wife or not?
So this woman was really just talking about black men and their jealousy towards this trend. She says how black men want everything but a relationship, and I get how it is easy to assume this because there are a lot of extramarital pregnancies within the black community. There were actually a few women in her comments sharing their stories about how they have a baby with this man and their baby's father just basically avoids commitment, has been avoiding commitment the past few years. And every time she brings up like a relationship or marriage, he just sort of shuts it down. And I guess I'm just like, if you're literally 1, 2, 3 babies in with the same man and you're still complaining about him not committing, that's on you at that point. Like, I don't have any sympathy really, because it also takes 2 to make a baby. It takes 2 to be in a situationship. It takes 2 to be in a talking stage. You have standards and you're not even trying to live up to them. Like, instead of blaming the other party for your actions, maybe take accountability and go find someone else. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's all black men that don't want relationships. If you're with a black man and he doesn't want a relationship, he's just not the man for you. Like, it's not the entire race. Like, you're just being weird. And then she also mentions how black men are the most likely to date outside their race, which is true. I fact checked her to make sure, she wasn't talking some nonsense. Like, if you're the most likely to date outside your race, you cannot be saying black women have a white man superiority complex. And I do get the part where she mentions, the NFL and NBA. As far as sports celebrities, they do most likely have either a white or severely light skin or just a non-black wife in general. And some celebrities really do have that type of, oh, I'm dating someone or I'm married to someone non-black, like I finally made it type of thing going on. But in any case, this whole NBA, NFL, what have you argument is getting really old because there are only a small percentage of the black men in the world. And it's just like, realistically, none of us are going to be coming across a super famous athlete. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these black men don't even apply to us. Like, for all we know, their relationships could suck. No one said that they're having better relationships with these non-black women. Like, I don't see why that's always being brought up. And then some of us seem to forget that there are still some black celebrities that have black wives. But I guess we just forget them now or something. I don't know. So one more video that I want to share you guys within the same trend is this man just talking about the hypocrisy of the trend.
Now, I hate to be the one to stir the pot, I really do, but I'm sorry. If I see some hypocritical shit, I'm calling it out. It's a trend going on right now, and they're calling it the black wife effect, right? Pretty much, it's black women who are married outside of their race, and they're showing the before and the after of their husband being married to them, right? Now, like I always say, I don't give a damn about nobody's preference. You can marry the size, shape, color. You can marry whoever and whatever you want. I don't give a damn. But this is where I do have an issue. Just read these comments. I'm loving these black wife effect. Keep them coming, ladies. 15.5 thousand likes. The material was always there. Sis said, rise, king, and he did. 1,200 likes. I love this trend. God damn, you won. Shit. Girl, what kind of seasoning you used on this one? Now let's flip the roles real quick. If black men was coming out here posting on this app, showing the before and after of they white wives and they other race wives, saying they put seasoning on them, because all the seasoning really is like you could just tell they've been involved in black culture and now they a little bit culture. That's really all the seasoning that they put. But if black men was doing this with they white wives and they Hispanic and Asian wives, oh my God, we wouldn't be able to breathe. I'm black, my daughter black, her mama black, she got 4 black grandparents. But if I was in these comments asking, oh, what seasoning you put on that one, man, what? Y'all would be giving me hell. And don't act like y'all wouldn't.
So he basically said, like, if black men were to do the same thing, basically a black man effect with their white wives or just non-black wives in general, how there would be a major issue. So I actually, when I first watched this video, I agreed with him and was like, yeah, I do believe that there would have been an issue if there was a black man effect. And I looked through the comments, and actually some women did say that the black man effect did exist, but it didn't hit the same and that it was giving struggle. And I went to look it up myself to see how the videos were, and I didn't really see any differences. I did see that it didn't blow up as much though. Then I started to think, why is that? Now this is where you gotta start putting on your thinking caps, because when these women said that it didn't hit the same and that it gave struggle, these were underlying implications that black men just don't have that magic that black women do. Like, you see what I'm getting at here? Like the male equivalent of black girl magic, if you will. And that just didn't leave like a really extraordinarily positive effect on their non-black wife. Like, that's what they were really trying to get at when they said it gave struggle. And I would even go as far to say as these black women are trying to prove that black women are the best thing for a black man to have. Like, they are the top of the top. You're not going to get any better than us type of thing. And in all honesty, anything that aids in the defamation and degradation of black men blows up in social media. Like, that's just how it is. Like, when the black man effect happened, I didn't see any spin-offs like the first video I showed you. I didn't see any black men being like before and after black women. Like, there was none of that. But there's plenty of before and after dating or talking to or being married to a black man. There's plenty videos on that, and it not even have to do with this trend going on, but there's plenty videos about that in general. And that's just simply because the media and sick individuals love to see and plot the downfall of our black men. But in all honesty, regarding interracial relationships, it's really awesome and super to share your love story. I just wanted to point out that we should not forget that interracial relationships have not always been legalized. Like, it has been a short amount of time since these relationships have been legalized. And back in the day, there were times where the only thing you could do was date within your race. And actually, not only was it legalized, but it was preferred, especially within the black community. That was back when we still had some sense of unity and togetherness, and we would, stand behind each other, and like, we were pro-black. But that's not really how it is anymore. And before some of you get the wrong idea, I'm not suggesting that we go back to like segregated times and stuff. Like, clearly that would be dumb. So let's stay on track here. You're supposed to have love for both your race and other races. Just because we got interracial dating going on doesn't mean you gotta all of a sudden start slandering your own people. Like, it's a never-ending thing within the black community. It's so disgusting. So this black wife, black man effect really had some good intentions. I believe that. But some people, as you can see, just don't know how to act. So those of you participating in this trend, you really have to ask yourself, are you really showing how happy your interracial relationship is? Or are you just doing this to prove your worth to the same few black men who still don't want you? I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember, when you're on social media, please have some sense. Have an awesome day.